Happy New Year. This is your girl, Chris. And y'all, I'm really, really excited about episode 2. As you guys know, I have the amazing Hennigan Realty Group. This is Dayna, and that's Roland. And they're
Hey,
my
hey,
good
what's going
friends.
on?
They are amazing. They got some great nuggets that they're going to share with you guys a little bit shorter or later here. But first, let's get into the top of the show. We're keeping the New Year, New Hustle vibe strong. Today, we're talking about real estate dreams and turning keys with Roland and Dayna Hennigan of the Hennigan Realty Group. So, we're going to get into that. But first, before we get into that, for a quick moment, I want to be intentional and do what I said I was going to do. I said I'm going to start every episode with a mental health moment. So, all right, y'all, here's today's mental health moment. You can have mountains today. Sometimes just moving in your mindset is enough. Just remember to give ourselves grace, whether you're buying your first home, chasing a big dream, or just trying to make it through the day. Progress is progress. Breathe deep and keep going. You've got this. You got this. You can do this. So that's our mental health moment. I just want to be encouraging and send the word out to the audience. If you're out there and you're on the live, you're catching the hashtag replay, drop some ones to let us know that you're keeping your mental health on your mind because you just have to because it's a muscle. Your mind is a muscle, just like when you want to go into the gym and work out your biceps and your triceps and all that good stuff. You have to do the same thing with your mind. So I'm going to let these good people introduce themselves. Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, hey, what's going on?
So go ahead and tell everybody who you are first and foremost and what it is that you do.
Well, my name is Roland Hennigan. I am one half of Hennigan Realty Group, and I am a realtor. Been a realtor for about 4 years. Things are doing well, and we're just excited.
And I am Dayna Hennigan. I'm the other half of Hennigan Realty Group. Same thing, been in real estate full time for 4 years. And yeah, just excited about the new year and all the different things that are out there and opportunities for people to become homeowners and grow, in real estate.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. First and foremost, we thank you for that because we need our people, black people, brown people that are blazing the trail. And you guys are doing an amazing job. I mean, I've only known you guys for about I met you guys like a year into the transition. Like you guys have been doing it for a year. Because if you say you've been doing it for 5 years, yeah, that's around the time. And you guys have glowed up. Y'all are doing amazing things in the city. I'm so proud of your home buyers courses and everything. But I cannot go through my social media without seeing so. When I see that, that encourages me because I want to be a homeowner myself one day when I grow up. Yeah, that's all.
We got you. We got
I
you. Come
know it.
see us.
I know it. I know it. You ain't got to tell me. You ain't got to ask. I got y'all and y'all got me. Trust me. Let me just do a
Absolutely.
couple more things that I need to do for the beginning of the year that I said I wanted to do. So by mid-year, I will be harassing y'all. I will be harassing. With that being said, y'all know the City Highlights has many episodes, many segments. My favorite segments are going to be the back in the day, the things to do, and the say what segment of today. So today we're going to start off with the back in the day. We're going to kind of take them back to bring them back to where we are right now. So they can kind of see the story, know the journey, and see all the power behind this couple that they have before them. Now, I do understand I'm already knowledgeable. I've interviewed you guys before, but we're going to talk as if we've never talked before because there's some people in the
Okay.
audience that didn't get the opportunity to hear about you guys beforehand, right?
Right.
So let's give them an opportunity to meet you for the first time. This is Dayna, this is Ro. Okay, so you guys started in real estate 5 years ago, right?
4 years ago.
Well, this year
Four
is
years.
makes the 5th year.
It did? Oh, okay.
Well, it's
Time has look.
January. It's
Yeah, okay,
January.
yeah.
The end of the year.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh, yeah. You absolutely right. 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were you guys are you look mature. I mean, you don't look old, but you look like you grown. And 5 years ago, you wasn't in your teens. So tell us a little bit where you come from and how you became into realty.
Well, for me, I always wanted to be in real estate,
Okay.
but I had a family, and you don't get paid just for showing up like you do on somebody's job. So I was a little bit cautious about, crossing over into real estate and not being able to, put food on the table. So
Mhm.
that was just something that just kind of held me back. But then COVID happened. Okay. COVID happened and it just kind of forced me into that situation. I won't say forced me into that situation, but it's just it. I guess for
Nice little
me, the way
pivot.
my huh?
It was a nice little pivot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The way my personality is set up, it was an easy transition. It had a lot of things going on. It was an easy transition, and I did it, and it worked out, and I hadn't looked back.
Amen. All right, Dana, tell us about yourself. And we got Roland's tea. He told us some stuff cool. Because I get as a man, not someone, and I think like one, but I do understand. As a man, you want to make sure, as a provider, I should say. Let me rephrase my words because I say 2025. I'm being intentional about how I speak because being a man don't mean you're a provider. So let me say this: being a man that's a provider, your family is always the forefront of any decisions that you make. So you have this dynamic partner sitting next to you.
I do.
Let me ask you this. Did you share with her what your desires were, or did you just make moves, or how did that look for you guys as a partnership?
Well, yeah, because yeah, I mean, I talked about it with her before. Actually, I started wholesaling.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I started wholesaling, and that's before I even got my realtor's license. So I didn't jump into it abruptly like that in terms of being a real estate agent. I
Okay.
just kind of jumped in kind of slow. And when I was looking at wholesaling, and it didn't fit my personality. Because I'm not saying that wholesalers lie, but there is a small part where you have to be a little deceitful.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that, you know what I mean? And I just had a hard time with that, and it just didn't fit my personality. I can't really just look you in the eye and tell a lie. You'll know it, you know
Wild
what I
face
mean?
like
That's
that.
just the way I'm cut, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? This would be a lot easier if I just go ahead and do what I really wanted to do anyway and just become a realtor. You know what I mean? So I just stepped out on faith. Dayna was she had my back on it. She was like, go ahead if that's what you want to do. She still had her job, and at the time, well, I had it's really a long story because I had just graduated from Texas Southern University. I decided to go back and get my degree, something that I started in the 90s. And I got a degree in corporate finance from Texas Southern University. Shout out to
We have to
TSU.
stop and give a hand clap for that. That's
Yeah, yeah.
amazing. We don't glaze over the excellence that you
Yeah,
have.
yeah. Shout
Right.
shout out to TSU. But the job market wasn't as friendly as I thought it would be. I think they were kind of biased to my gray hair right here. I don't know. Maybe they was more favorable to the youngsters. But I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do what I wanted to do anyway. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of how it happened.
Okay. So, Dana, what were you doing while he was doing what he was doing?
So I was in education. That was my field. I had been in education at that time for maybe about 18 years or so. So I was actually an assistant principal at that particular time. And like Roland said, COVID hit.
Y'all like to glaze over things. You guys, and I love the humility. I like the fact that you guys are humble. But you were an assistant principal at a school. Is that what you said?
I was an assistant principal at a high school, and I was over like the special education, ESL, those programs, and that was a major part of what I did. I was over those particular areas. And yeah, COVID hit, and it was like the we were getting ready to go into spring break. And so, just like everybody else, it shut down. And so we came from spring break, and we were running the school from our houses, trying to make, I don't know, it was our new reality pretty
Right.
much,
Trying to figure it out.
trying to figure it out. And so, there were some transitions in there, and they did a huge budget cut, and pretty much I got cut, and they was like, you could either do this or you could do that, and I was not willing to do either one. And so I was trying to find another job, in education. That's all I knew, and I knew Roland was doing real estate and everything, and he's at that particular time, he was starting to do his classes for his real estate license, and he was interviewing with some brokers and stuff, and he kept saying, I keep bringing you up when we go, when I'm talking to these brokers, and they're telling me that teachers make the best realtor. You should look into real estate. And I'm like, nah, because it was the same thing like Roland said. Like, I know what that check looked like on the 15th and the end of the month. I knew what
Depend on that, and I could
exactly.
structure my life around that. That's
Exactly.
consistency.
It was stable income. So there was no guessing on what our income and all that stuff or whatever would look like. And then especially if he's going into real estate, like Roland said, you don't just get paid for just showing up.
Right.
So I'm like,
You
okay,
can
well,
show
why
a
he
million and one houses if you ain't sold
exactly.
yet.
So
You can
while he's
show
doing that, I have this, I'm gonna hold it down over here and it's gonna work out. Well, it was a whole transition in there, whatever, like that. Some prayers and all that stuff, whatever. And the biggest thing, to make a long story short, pretty much my last prayer was, okay, God, what do you want me to do? And he was like, go, he literally said, go follow your husband. And
yeah.
so that's what I did. I went and I told Roland, I said, because I was in my little makeshift office, which was I had set up in a garage. That was my school office. But I went and I told him, I said, okay, I said, I'm done. I'm done trying to figure this out and, looking for jobs elsewhere. I'm going to go into real estate. And so about a few months later, I went and started my classes and got my license. And here we are. 5 years later. I can't believe it's been 5 years. But yeah, 5 years
It
later.
has been. Yes, like I said. It's like it ain't about a year.
I
That's
know.
it. You where you were when we interviewed you originally. That's where we at. But no, that's beautiful. When it's rolling so fast, you let it pass you by. That means that
Yeah.
you're sitting in the best thing that you be sitting because you're not even worried about time. When it's good, time is the least of your worries. So okay, we got that. You guys both got your big toes in there, and y'all flapping around, y'all pedaling through the realty streets. So let me ask you this, because real estate is not for the weak or the
No.
faint of heart. It is not, because that's a very high and low type thing. It's like famine and feast lifestyle at some point when you first start out. So let me ask you guys this: what was the first or the what was that experience that let both of you guys know that we made the right decision?
Oh.
Um,
She said,
it might
"Ooh."
have been that first check. It might have been that first check. But
Okay.
I mean, I knew it was a good decision in terms of passion and helping people. Like I said, my only concern was the part about supporting or providing
Income.
for my house. That was it. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
The
What's
heart,
the
the
dream?
passion, that was all there. You know what I mean? So when those checks started rolling in, I knew I was good. It's not really all about the money, and I guess that'll come here in a minute. But that's kind of when because that was my only concern. I'm
For
just being straight up about that.
Yeah, and for me it was because I was concerned. It was definitely faith over fear,
Yeah.
type situation. And so when I started to see things kind of work itself out, like things that we were concerned about, because at that time too, our daughter was getting ready to graduate from high school, go into college, and it was like, okay, how are we gonna do this? And things just kind of started to work its way out. Like whatever we was concerned about, it just things just fell into place. And then for like the first year actually was a good year. We did good like that first year. And I think for me it was when I was at a particular brokerage my first brokerage that I was in, and I was told, dealing with the demographics of people that I was dealing with, that I was not going to excel, and I wasn't going to, in the real estate world we call it's called cap. Now, cap, it is when you pretty much you have made the brokerage a certain amount of money where they no longer take a certain amount of money from you, and you get 100% of your commission. So when within that first year of being able to cap and still being true to the demographic that Roland and I had set out to, service.
Ooh, wait a minute. Let's go back over that. So when you came into this purpose, they told you that they did not feel you would be successful with the demographic that you were with the people, the sources that you were using. And within the first year, even after that information, you kept, you
Yes.
reached cap. Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay.
Yeah, and then from there, we like the next year, we capped our second year. We ended up moving to a different brokerage, and we were very strategic. We were very strategic about. So the first year, we decided to go into separate brokerages. Because we wanted to make sure that we educated ourselves. So we went into two different brokerages that we knew they were very good on education. And so we shared, like, so I shared information that, I got from my brokerage. He shared the information he got from his brokerage. And then the second year, we came together and, and that's when actually the second year was when we actually formed Hennigan Realty Group. So the first year we were, Roland and Dayna, and then the second year we became Hennigan Realty Group.
So within yeah, okay. So let me. I'm trying to refresh, rephrase, so anybody listening can make sure they can capture all this information and get all these nuggets. So within the first year, you started two different brokerages to make sure you can maximize your education and you guys can make sure you're getting all your needs met out of two different places versus one. And
Yes.
then you guys decided to come together after that you got all your knowledge, or how did it get to where you are today?
Well, we intended to work together the whole time.
Okay.
That was the plan from day
Mm-hmm.
one, but we just wanted a different perspective from a different company,
Okay.
and we wanted to bring that together as one. So I
Okay.
started off. I'm like maybe I may have gotten my license like 3 months before her. So I started off with one company because this is brand new. We don't know anything. We green. So I didn't want to, we got two people here, two smart people. So I wanted
Yes.
to
Yep.
just get a perspective of how this works over here. She get a perspective of how it works over there. What are some of the differences? What are some of the things that they do well? Some of the things that they don't, and then we'll come together and bring all that knowledge under one roof and just kind of create our own lane. And that's kind of what we did.
And
That
let me
is
say
what's
too, I
happening.
think that's also just thinking about that now, hearing that out loud and thinking about it. I think that's also a testament to how we work as a couple and as business, partners. Like, we both respect the differences that we have, and we understand that, where I may be weak, Roland is strong, and where, and vice versa. And we bring our strengths together, and we're very strategic about everything that we do in our business, whether it be good or bad, whether we make a mistake or we're growing or whatever, or we're successful, we're very strategic. Like, nothing that we do is just by happen chance. And we bring that's the same thing that we bring to our clients, that we are very strategic. Like, I probably know everything that went on in his transaction, and he knows everything that went on in my transaction, because we talk about everything. Like, we're always, thinking things out, and like, okay, how can I do better? And then we go back into and we give each other feedback. Like, you could have done better on this, you could have did this or whatever, you should have done that or whatever, type thing, or whatever, to try to grow
Feedback
each
is
other.
good.
Our
It
pillow,
helps.
our,
Exactly.
our pillow talk is real estate.
It is
Okay.
business.
And you know what? At the end of the
That's our
day,
pillow talk.
you got to talk about what give you a pillow. If you guys are not strategic about talking about it and working through, then your success is not going to be there. That's just the reality. I appreciate you guys sharing it with the audience, because it's very, very, very difficult to showcase a couple that's got it together, that's able to put everything aside and come together as a partnership and create something great. So what you're doing is you're giving the nuggets, you're giving the people the insight on what your thought processes are when you're making decisions, so that can help somebody else. So we appreciate you guys for sharing that. We're gonna get into, come on back. We done with the back. We're gonna come into the things to do in the Liddy City. I understand that you guys offer a home buyers class, a free home buyers class.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is a home buyers class, and what would benefit me to attend a home buyers class?
So it's not a home buyers class. It's actually
Okay,
a home buying workshop. Yeah.
workshop.
Yes, a workshop, and the way it's set up is you let's just say you were wanting to buy a house now or later.
Hmm.
You know you're not ready, but you're just trying to prepare yourself, right? So
Okay.
first of all, when you come in, you don't have to be ready. Let's just get that out the way. I want everybody to know. All we ask, thank you. All we ask is for you to have serious home buying aspirations. You know that one day that you're going to buy a house and you're wanting to work on that now. You're ready to work on it now. That's all we ask, right? So it's a home buying workshop. So it's at, what is it, 3715 Live Oak at the Shape Center?
Is it 37, 38, 15? It's two locations that Shape Center has, but we're on the
We're
Live
at
Oak.
Live Oak, Shape Center in Third Ward. Yeah,
Hey, live
Live
on
Oak.
go to the trade. They in the trade. So
In the
that's
trade.
a great place to be.
Yeah, yeah.
For
It's
backup.
basically on the corner of Live Oak and Alabama.
I know
Shape
that's where
Center. So
I know exactly.
yeah, so we're right there. So anyway, so when you come in, you'll have an opportunity to speak to a realtor, whether it be myself or my wife Dayna, and you'll sit one on one, or you can bring your spouse, you can bring your, your kid or whatever you want to bring, but you're going to sit down at a table with us, and we're going to have our realtor questions. So whatever
Okay.
questions we need to ask, we're gonna want to know about your home buying aspirations. Have you started? Just kind of figure out where you at and where we need to go with it. Okay. And from there, and we're going to write the information down. And from there, we're going to send you to the next table over. And the next table over, there'll be a mortgage lender there. Okay. Yeah, there'll be a mortgage lender, and she or he is going to have questions, and they're going to talk to you about the financial side of it, talking about your job, your income, your taxes, everything that they need to know, and everything that you need to know to get your affairs in order, to kind of get you ready to buy this house. They may even talk to you about some of the down payment assistance programs, and how much money you might need to save, depending on how much house you're trying to buy, depending on a lot of factors that, have to do with each individual. Okay. So they're going to get you straight on that end. And one of them is credit. Okay. A big factor is credit. So if you don't have your credit where it needs to be, then we'll send you to another table for a free consultation to speak with a credit specialist. Okay.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Hold
Go
on, because
ahead.
I want to make sure that the little people that's listening, credit. What's good credit? What's bad credit? I don't know. I seen the numbers, but I don't know if it's good or bad. Can you help the people that may not understand about their credit? What is considered bad credit? Let's start there.
Well, I don't really use the term bad credit. It's just more about what qualifies for what and what
Okay.
doesn't. That's
So what score would you need to? What's the lowest score you can have to be a home buyer? Let's start.
so.
500.
I mean, yeah, 500 to be honest with you.
You could buy a home with Wait a minute. You can purchase a home with a 500 credit score.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can, but it's always
It's
a
factors.
caveat. Yeah, it's factors with all of it. You can, but you're going to have to like put down a large down payment.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I
So
mean?
that's
Like I think it's 10% of the price of the
Yeah,
house.
something like
So
10
if you
or
getting
15%.
like a $300,000 house, and I'm not a lender, and we haven't served anybody with a 500 credit score, but it's possible. So if you get like a $300,000 house, you might have to put down $40,000. You know what I mean? So that's most people with that kind of money.
500, right? That's what a low.
That's what a 500.
Yeah, you see what I'm
Lower
saying?
score, the
So
more capital you got to have to put in to get a house.
yeah,
Yeah, the
the more
lower-
skin in the game, right.
Okay.
Because
But
you're more of a risk.
right,
Right. Okay.
Right.
I hear you. I see what you're saying.
but from there, I think it's 580 that you got to have to get a loan, and you don't have to put down just the basic 3.5%. That's it. Okay.
Okay, so I seen on the Instagram, this lady was talking, and I was scrolling, and she said that I can get a house with $0.
Yeah.
I kept scrolling because I was like, girl, please. Is that true?
Tell them, I about to say your client from you just yesterday.
I just closed a client yesterday who actually got cash back at the closing table. You know how like at the closing table you got to bring a big check? She got a check.
They gave her
Well, how much
money.
you put down?
So, yeah, she didn't put down anything. I mean, she paid her earnest money.
But her down payment
You
was
always,
zero.
yeah, no, you always got to do
Earnest
that.
money, because we're talking to people that have no idea. They don't know anything about realty. What is earnest? Wait a
So
minute.
earnest money is your skin in the game. Earnest money is your, it's like a symbol of your commitment to the deal for the seller. So in other words, if you want to buy a house, then you got to make an offer to the person that's selling the house. Okay.
Kind of like a deposit.
Pretty much.
Well,
yeah.
the earnest money is, but before we get to that, you got to make an offer on paper, which is a contract. Say, hey, Mr. Seller, I want to buy your house, right? So if that seller agrees, then they got to take their house off the market. So if they take their house off the market, nobody else can entertain buying that property because they made it unavailable because you said you wanted to buy it.
You said you
So what
wanted
if
the
you're not serious? What if you're not serious? So you pay earnest money, like a deposit. If,
Okay,
the
I
way
see
you
what you're
say
saying.
it.
So you gonna give me my money to make sure you for real before I take my house off the market and you playing and I lose. You give me something so I know that you're serious.
Thank
Because
you.
now
And
I'm not
that's
able to
earnest
sell
money.
it. Okay, earnest
That's your
And
money.
earnest
that's
money.
Okay,
that's usually 1%. That's usually 1% is widely acceptable. There's no rule to how much it has to be. It could be
okay,
whatever two people agree on, but
okay,
1% is just widely accepted.
okay. So 1% is the norm for your earnest when you want to have someone to remove their house off the market.
Right.
So I
Right.
see this house and I said, "Ooh, that house is nice. I like that house. I want that house." They want $350,000 for this house, so I need to have 1% of $350,000. Go and sign the paperwork, make the offer, and then what happens after that?
After you make the offer, they have to accept it.
Okay, so
If
they
they
don't have to accept. If I make an offer, they can tell me no.
right,
Right. But once they have agreed to the offer, that's when at that point that's when you pay your earnest money. So you make the offer, so you come in and say, Chris, you come in and you're our client and you say, I want this house. We say, okay, we put the offer in, the sellers accept your offer, and then at that point you pay your earnest money. At that
Okay,
point, once you pay your earnest money, you are officially under contract. Actually, once the contracts have been executed, meaning they've been signed by both parties, you are officially under contract.
if you
And
haven't given that earnest money, and earnest money is now due.
right, you have 3 days. You have three days to give that earnest money.
72 hours.
72
1 to
hours
3 days after you sign the paperwork. Okay.
to give
That's
that in.
fast. That's fast.
It is fast. Because pretty much, so, and a question that we typically get asked is how long does it take to pretty much buy a house?
Mhm.
30 days is pretty much, the roundabout. It takes
Wait a
about
minute.
30 days, but,
You can purchase a house and you can fully purchase a house within 30 days.
and it could be shorter. It could be 21 days. Matter of fact, we were talking with the lender yesterday at the closing, and she closed somebody in 10 days. So
I was told, like, I've had this understanding because from hearing the horror stories that people are purchasing a house from 6 months to a year.
it maybe
What
if
does
you're
that
building
mean?
from the ground up, like if you're building a custom made home
Oh,
or
okay.
something, it could be 6 months to a year. If a year, that sounds like that would probably be a pretty big custom home. But if
Okay.
you're building from the ground up, it could take about 6 months, 4 to 6 months for these new construction homes. But if the house is already built and ready to go, about 30 days.
Comforting. That makes, I mean, I'm all warm and fuzzy on the inside because that really makes things more realistic. That's what's up. Okay,
but
okay.
let's
Now
let's let's
that's
be
for a
clear about
friend.
that. That's 30 days from the point where the two people agree
Right.
that when they agree on terms that the house will be sold and the earnest money is put down. That's what's starting the 30 days.
Okay, I got it. I
So
got it. I got it.
if
I'm
it
with it.
take you 3 months to find the house, that's something different. But once you
Right.
find it, agree on terms, start the clock on the 30 days.
Okay, so you guys are the experts. You guys do this more often than I think about it. Let me ask you this, because my head just started clicking. You said it can if it takes 3 months. So break this down. I just came to you and I said I want to buy a house. The first part, what's the first thing I'm gonna have to do? If I come to you and say, hey, I want to buy a house, what's the first thing I need to do?
So the first thing that we typically do, we have a brief conversation just to kind of see like where you are, with your credit, with your income, basic questions. So
Okay.
we can kind of know like, are you ready to jump right into it, or do you need to go to the credit specialist? Like, okay, my income and everything is good, but my credit is not there. So then we may recommend our credit specialist go and have a conversation
So
with
it's
her.
case by case.
But yeah,
Okay.
but if you say, okay, like my credit is here and I use we always ask the question when you say what your credit score is, what source are you using to pull your credit? Like if you're using, so let me say, a lot of people use Credit Karma. Credit Karma is good for monitoring what is on your credit. Credit Karma is not good for monitoring your actual credit score. So if you tell me, where I'm looking at Credit Karma and it tells me that I have a 640 credit score, okay, I would then ask, either look at your bank app, that's a semi, okay. But some of the best ones is you can go online, freecreditreport.com. You can pull your credit score. One that is very reputable and it's the exact same FICO score that the lenders are going to use is myfico.com. We're not sponsored by them or whatever, but we just know that it's a reputable site, and whatever that it gives you three different scores. They'll give you a regular credit score, it'll give you a mortgage credit score, and also if you're looking to purchase a car, it'll give you your auto credit score.
And credit card credit score.
And it give you credit card credit score.
MyFICO.com.
MyFICO.com.
It's an app. It's you. Yeah. You can use it on your desktop, but it's an app too that you can have on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah. And we actually use
too much on them because they're not giving us no.
Yeah, and we actually use it to monitor our credit on a regular basis. It gives us alerts every month and all that stuff or whatever to
And
monitor
this is a
our
free
credit.
app.
No.
No. No, no, I'm glad you said that. No, it's not, but they do have subscriptions. I think the last person I talked to, they pulled it up. It was like $30 a month. But I'm going to say this. It's an investment, for yourself.
Especially if you're interested in buying a home.
If you're interested in buying a home, or just interested in just making sure that your financial affairs are in order, whatever, it's a good resource to have. I mean, you think about what you spend $30 on a month. That's sometimes a lunch.
Two coffees from Starbucks.
Exactly. Two coffees from Starbucks, that's $30. McDonald's nowadays, $30 a month to go towards to monitor your credit, to make sure that you're good so that you can set yourself up financially for whatever you want to do in your future, whether that be buying a house, a car, whatever the situation. So you look at that, and then once you figure out, okay, like, yeah, your credit seems, it seems pretty decent, your income is decent, then we refer you to at least 3 different lenders, and we base it based on what you want to do. So because we have different lenders for different things. Every lender does not fit every situation. And so from there, once you get a pre-approval, you talk to the lenders, you do an application, you get a pre-approval. Once you get a pre-approval, then we do what's called a buyer's consultation. And that's when we go more in depth because we want to be very efficient with our clients' time. So that's when we kind of talk about the pretty stuff, what exactly do you want in the house? What do you want in the community? But then also too, we explain the process, what to be prepared for as we go through this process. Because a lot of times you have people who they're ready financially, credit wise, but sometimes they're not ready mentally, emotionally, because it is a process. A lot of people, if nobody's ever owned a home in their home, you go through the imposter syndrome. A lot of times we see, so we have to.
They're not only realtors, y'all therapists, y'all.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Thought
partners. Your cheerleaders.
Okay, yeah, like all of the above. That's amazing, and that is. I think that's important when you're making a big step like that because it's a bunch of realtors on every corner. I mean, trust me, there are a lot. I know like 6 myself personally. So therefore, I know it's a very hard decision to make when it comes to choosing a realtor and someone that's going to assist you in this process. So I'm really excited to have you guys because you guys are giving me the ins and outs as someone who has never purchased a home and is truly interested and does not know what it looks like. I appreciate you guys because this makes it make sense. You guys breaking it down to where I can understand because I ain't know nothing about no Ernest. I thought Ernest was my boy that went to high school with me. So I'm like, okay, I'm learning things here. Now that I've gotten all my knowledge, I've gotten myself together. We on our contract. We in the process of, purchasing the home. Now I haven't chose the home yet. No, I have. I gave my Ernest money, so I've chose the home. What is something what is a down part? What's a down part? What can happen or what's the negatives that can happen in the process of home buying that people are not aware of? Can you share something that's
let me say this. First of all, we're not emotionally invested in the transaction. Okay? Now let me explain that. A lot of times the client or the buyer or the seller, they emotionally tied to the house, or they emotionally, tied to to buying the house that they like. We are not. And we can't afford to be, because we have to stay focused and understand that we have to help guide them through an important business transaction. So we let them be emotional, but we listen to their wants, their needs in the beginning, and we stay on course for them. You know what I mean? To help them through that, because a lot of times they're gonna be all over the place.
Yeah.
It's a it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But we can't do that. We can't afford to do that.
Right.
So we stay by their side, but we stay focused on a great outcome for them.
Okay.
That's number one. But in terms of things that can go wrong, I mean, if you got a good realtor that's taking it serious, it's not a whole lot that can go wrong. I mean, it could be something that pop up that's not, within our control. But regarding the buyer, and we tell our buyers, okay, we're under contract. Don't go finance a bunch of furniture.
Right. Please.
That's what I'm okay. These
because if you do, because when you get ready to close, maybe a week or so before you close, they're going to run your credit again. So two things can happen if you go and finance a bunch of furniture. The first thing is they ran your credit. So if your credit was already borderline, it might be below the bar. You needed to be at a 620. You were at a 620. You went and bought the furniture.
Brand new furniture for my house, and now I'm at a 5.
Yeah, you better wait till after we close.
Yeah, it ain't gonna drop that low, but you might go from a 620 to a 619. That's just one point. That's just one point, but it has to be 620. It can't be 619.
So you mean to tell me, because I went to buy, okay, so y'all better listen up. Y'all hear that? Are y'all hearing that? So what you're saying to me is, when I'm in contract, I don't want to make no major purchases that's going to affect my credit, because if my credit drops one score below and I was already on the line, I could lose the opportunity to purchase my house. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yes. If your credit was on the line, if you got a 700 and all you needed was a 620, then you're fine.
Maybe
on that one. But there's something else though. You may be fine on that. Okay, your credit's still high enough, but then there's this thing called DTI, which is debt to income ratio. So your credit is still good, but the bank is saying, okay, when you went under contract, you could afford this house because you were only paying $1,000 in bills, so you can afford this house. But now that you went and financed this credit, you're not paying $1,000 in bills anymore. Now you're paying $1,300 in bills every month. So now you can't afford this house no more.
Right.
So
and people do not think about that. I know
they don't, but I'm be honest with you, that's very basic to us. But it wouldn't be to somebody. It wouldn't be to somebody who's a first-time home buyer or a second or third. It wouldn't be.
I'm gonna want to get furniture.
I'm gonna
be thinking about all the things that I need to do beforehand for this house. So I readily would not have known that, Roland.
Exactly, and that's fine, but that's why you have to choose your realtor wisely.
And let me throw another thing in there that is starting to pop up a lot more. So, of course, most people think about, okay, I'm not going to go and finance. I'm not going to go buy a car. I'm not going to go buy furniture. I'm not going to go buy appliances for my new house. But a big thing that people are doing that's also hurting them with their debt to income ratio is Affirm, Klarna, these little, when we're going Afterpay. Those are now starting to be looked at as a line of credit, and it's starting to be looked at as debt. So because the way you're paying it, broken up just like a bill, type thing or whatever. So lenders are starting to look at this as a line of credit. Is starting to be calculated into your debt to income ratio. So a lot of people
listening to what she just said.
Yeah. So a lot of people like to shop. Exactly.
Don't be doing no Afterpay and no Klarna.
If you're getting ready to purchase a house, go ahead and pay those Klarna and Affirm and all this and pay it off and have proof that you paid it off. Once you go under contract, don't go buying new outfits or whatever you buy on Klarna, hair, nails, whatever, shoes, whatever you buy on those Afterpay, Klarna, Affirm, don't do it while you're under contract, because it's going to show up in your bank statement accounts, and and lenders are going to see that, and they're going to ask you for either to pay it off like a credit card.
Right.
hey, your DTI, your debt to income ratio has increased. We need you to pay this down. If you didn't have the money to pay for it at first, which is the reason why you're probably paying it in
Why you
installments,
getting it?
you probably may not have the money to pay it off. Or if you do, now you're dipping into your closing money or whatever money you need, at the
Or it's
end.
like a cycle of
Exactly. So just
issue.
don't do it.
Don't
Don't
do it.
do it.
Y'all heard her. Don't do it. If you listening, not if you are
Don't
listening,
do
you
it.
heard what she said. Just don't do it. Wait till you get if you want to purchase that home. And this is what Roland said that really, really spoke to my heart. He said that they make sure that you are ready emotionally because this is the first time that you're doing something made. And a lot of people don't know home ownership, purchasing a home is one of the main ways to create generational wealth. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
Totally right.
So therefore, if you're making the decision that will affect not only yourself but the next generations are to come, you want to make sure that you move accordingly and you do things right. And we don't all know. Sometimes we just don't know. So I'm so thankful for you guys because y'all are sharing the things that people need to know but don't know. So we're gonna slide on past the things to do in the little city. Tell me, okay, now we in your class, we've gone through the course, we done got to the credit table. We know where we at with that. What's after that? What's the next step after we know we found out about our credit is in order. We know our credit is ready. Can we now go into home buyership in this workshop or where workshop or where are we after we check credit in the workshop? What does the workshop look like?
We don't really check your credit in the workshop.
Okay.
We don't run your credit in the workshop.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I
Okay.
apologize.
So I know you said we go to a table and they can help
Oh,
us.
okay. Yeah. So basically, when you go to that table, it's in your best interest to have your credit report available.
Okay.
Okay, have your
Pull your
credit.
credit report. Y'all heard that? When you're getting ready, go ahead and pull your credit report. I'm sorry, Roland. Go ahead.
No, no, you good. And just pull it like a day or two or so before you come into the workshop, and it's free.
Okay.
Okay, you can
What
pull it.
else do we need to bring to this workshop? I kind of went into it. I didn't do the first part. What do I need to have to come to this workshop? What's the first part?
Well, I mean, you can. I would say if you are 1099, you could bring any of your tax information. You don't necessarily need it. That's something that could be talked through. But you
Okay.
can just kind of bring that. But the biggest thing you're going to need is your credit report if
Okay.
your credit is not up to par.
Okay.
Because we have a credit specialist that's going to look at your credit report and pretty much tell you what you need to do. She might tell you that you can fix this on your own and you don't have to pay any money, and she will show you how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll tell you how to do it for the most part. Okay, but there might be a situation where you kind of need her, you kind of need her services,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
then she'll take care of that for a reasonable price. Yeah. So basically, she's gonna let you know what you need to do with your credit to qualify to get to the 620 or 640 or whatever it is you're trying to get to. And by the time you leave, you have spoken to a realtor, you spoke to a mortgage lender, and you spoke to a credit specialist. So now you know everything that you need to do in order to get to where you need to be in order to purchase this house. That's the purpose of the workshop. Now, most people come in not ready. Some people come in ready. Most people come in not ready. But then they reach back out to us a little bit later, and they're ready, and then we just take them through the process. We've closed on several properties of people that came through the workshop.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. No. 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 Trust me.
let
I,
me
I,
let me
I was
add
so sorry.
too, Chris, to it. The reason why we even do it that way, because like most people are used to going to like home buying classes where they're sitting down there getting general information.
Yeah. That's what I assumed.
Right. And the thing is, we understand that everybody is going to go through the process totally different. You and I could have the same credit score. We could be working at the same job, making the same amount of money for the same amount of time. We was hired on the same exact day. But the way you're going to go about your home buying process is going to be totally different than the way I'm going to go about my home buying process and so forth. And so we are catering to people with that mindset so that when you come in, you're having a one-on-one conversation with one of us. You're having a one-on-one conversation with the mortgage lender. You're having a one-on-one conversation with the credit specialist. So to make sure that when you walk away, you're walking away with a personalized plan. So that's okay if you're not ready to buy. I just know that at some point I want to buy. Maybe I want to buy next year. a lot of people come in thinking, I don't, oh, it's gonna take me a year to do this or whatever. And a lot of them walk away with like, no, you're ready right now. You
People,
know?
that's what I was like 6 months, right? You like I was like 30 days. Whoa.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it took a minimum of 6 months.
Right. Some people walk in thinking that my credit is horrible. And then they talk to the lender, they talk to the credit specialist, like, no, your credit is good. Like, you're ready. Like, we have a
Okay.
program. You qualify for this. You qualify for this amount of money, whatever the situation is, whatever. And a lot of people walk away like, oh, wow. I was afraid when I walked in thinking that this was not going to be possible, but I just came. I just, stepped out on faith or whatever and came. But then, they came and they became educated. But that's our biggest thing, is that we want to make sure that each individual understands their process towards, home buying. So we don't give general information. We're giving them personalized information.
Right. So it's individual, personal. Just this is what you need. Okay, I love that.
Right.
I love that because it's not cookie cutter. Just like we all have different looks to us. So does our credit. So does our history. So I appreciate that. That's what's up. Okay, so we're gonna go into the say what segment of the day. So you guys have been in this a little bit under 5 years, 4 years plus, I should say, 4 years plus. I know that you have had some audacious experiences. Can you share, give us the funniest situation, the most heartfelt, and the one that made you question what the hell were you doing? These three examples. Funniest experience that you've had in realty since you guys have been under this umbrella. The most heartfelt, the most impactful. Like you saw this one with these 6 kids that have been struggling clothes on type shit. Or what is the thing that's made you question, why did I do this? What was I thinking? Give me three. You give me one, and then you give me one, and then y'all give me the third one together. Y'all deliberate and tell me what y'all want the third one.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of tough.
Okay.
But I mean, the funniest thing I can think of is how a situation made me feel. So we were marketing on the radio, Magic 102, I think it was,
Mhm.
and somebody heard it, and they reached out, and they came to the office right here where we sitting, and wanted to talk about the home buying process. Oh, they wanted to buy a house,
Mhm.
and before we got started, she was like, I heard y'all on the radio, and I had been trying to buy a house, and nothing, ever really worked out. And when I heard you on the radio, God told me it was you. God said you was the one
That could
in
make it
the
happen.
realty group. And I was just like, that was really?
Right.
Like that's a
Profound. Like
lot.
God
You know what I
told
mean?
you
You've been trying, it hadn't worked out, and God told you I was the one. So I'm like, I mean, do I need to start doing my push-ups, eating my vitamins? Do I? Well,
right.
I got to get ready for this. That was like a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? I was like,
Cause
God
you
said, like I got, yeah, like I'm like me, like
That's a lot.
that was a lot. You know what I'm saying? So if it don't work out, then I disappoint
that's
God.
all
Like
it's on me.
I'm like, Lord, you know what I'm saying? God ain't tell me that, but
But I
I'm
said
a,
you
I'm
said
gonna do
God.
my best though. I'm gonna do my best. And yeah, but she just kind of fell off. You know what I mean? I was in the paint with her. You know what I mean? But she called me and said, I know you said not to do this, but I decided to buy a truck, and I'm gonna just go ahead and just ride my truck and come back to it later. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Since you said
She
God,
ain't
I was
said
riding
that.
with your tough
God ain't said that.
truck.
God ain't said that,
Yeah, I
lady.
don't think he said that part, but you know,
That's
she
funny
made her
though.
she made her decision.
God said that would be that's a lot of
Yeah,
responsibility for someone to tell me that it
Right.
is my responsibility to do. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
You put that's a lot you put on me right
yeah,
there.
yeah. That was a lot. God said you
But
was gonna
thank
get my
you.
house. I was like, ooh wee.
When we see that God said you're gonna get a truck instead. Okay. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Like, lady, okay, we're gonna let her make it. Okay, so tell me, what was the most heartfelt or emotional purchase that you guys helped the family with or helped someone with? Something that you
Ooh.
guys just walked away just feeling like, wow, we did that.
I've had a couple of situations where we like at the table crying, but I think the one that pops up to my head was it was a gosh, how did she come to, I don't remember how she came to us, but uh she did, and we had a meeting when she came into the office. I think we were supposed to do the workshop or something. I think something happened. I don't know if it was a freeze or something like that or whatever,
Okay.
and the pipes burst. But anyways, we ended up meeting at the office, and so she already had her pre-approval and everything, and she was approved for, so because I'm not saying her name, but she was approved for $180,000. And so she was like, she came in like, I know you can't help me find nothing for $180,000, but like
I was approved.
that's what I'm approved for. So while she talking, I'm on my computer and I'm pulling up because I actually had a house for $180,000. It was a brand new house, 3 bedroom, 2 bath house, for $180,000. And I said, I have a house for $180,000, and I'm looking down at my computer, pulling up the address, but I could see her in my peripheral, and her facial expression looked like, I know she lying. And so I looked up at her and I said, I saw your face. I know you feel like I'm not. I said, but I really do have it. And I turned the computer around and I showed her, and she was like, are you serious? And I said, yeah. I said, we can go look at it. I think, did we go either that day or the next day? We went and looked at it. It wasn't past 24 hours. We went to go look at the house. But we went into the house, and she was floored. She was like, I cannot believe like that, like this could be my house. And it was like brand new, like I said, $180,000, 3 bedroom, open concept. She had a walk-in closet. It's a really nice home, split floor plan, all that. And she was just like amazing. And that was the story she was like telling us. She said, Miss Dayna, I remember when I said that and you saw my face. She said, I didn't think you saw my face, but you did, and you called me on it.
I you. I thought you
Yeah.
were watching your face. You just
Yeah. So that was
when
pretty
God
heartfelt.
said. That's an example of when God said.
Right.
Like the other lady. God said.
God probably did tell her to call us, but she didn't listen. God probably told her don't buy that truck either, but she did. So
yeah, I don't know how much God doing she talking to.
Right. She ain't listening.
God told you and you wasn't consistent and you wouldn't, God did. Yeah, okay. I like that. That's beautiful because I wouldn't think you could. Okay, so let's talk about specifically to Houston. I just want you to, because we're gonna close. I want to make sure. I know you guys are busy. Tell me this. Can you share with a person that's here in the city of Houston that's interested? What's a nugget or what's some tidbits that you want to share with a person that's interested in purchasing a home here in the city?
I got one.
Okay.
One. Okay, if you're looking to buy a house and you don't quite got it together, this is about credit.
Okay.
Make the minimum payment on your credit card. And in a lot of cases, the minimum payment might be $25,
Mm-hmm.
$30, $50. It just depends. Don't ignore that. I understand that we get overwhelmed and you can't pay it down the way you want to pay it. But if you go past 30 days late, it's going to bring your credit score down, and it's going to stay there for 2 years.
Oh,
You
wow.
can't do nothing about it. Well, let me not say that. Sometimes you can call and
to fix those situations.
yeah, sometimes you can, but I wouldn't put a lot of stock into that. I just heard you can. I don't know, but
Yeah, they
that's
got
a
some
lot.
things
You know what I
going on,
mean?
but that's a maybe. There's no guarantee.
Yeah, because most of the time, they're not gonna do that. You know what I mean? So don't even focus on that. I just wanted to be accurate with what I was saying. But what you need to do is make that minimum payment. Okay, make it $25, whatever it is. Your
So
credit
if
might not
nothing
shoot up.
else, make the minimum
Yeah,
balance.
basically.
Pay more if you can, but if
Yeah,
you can't do nothing else, at least
At
attain the
yeah.
minimum. to
Because
keep your
again,
credit card.
if you don't, that's 2 years of a negative mark on your credit. 2 years before it drops off.
Understood. Thank
Yeah.
you for that. Dayna, you want to share any nuggets?
Yeah, get information and be careful of the information that you seek out there. So a lot of people count themselves out. when it comes to home buying. There's a lot of people that want to purchase a home, have aspirations to purchase a home, but they just automatically count themselves out. My mom have never owned a house. My dad never owned a house. A lot of people in my family have never been homeowners. So who am I to think that I can own a home? And so we see a lot of that. But at the end of the day, it's like, just come and get information. Okay? Get information. And which is another reason why, and I'm not saying you can go to any realtor you want to, but again, going back to the reason why we do the workshop and the reason why we do it is because a lot of people have been told no. Because, like my client, I'm only approved for $180,000. So people are like, girl, you can't buy a house for $180,000. No, I put several people in brand new homes that have purchased brand newly constructed homes under $200,000. I'm not saying that it's a whole bunch of houses out there like that,
It's possible.
but it's possible. And so, get information and seek realtors that understand your buying situation. If I am not, we deal with all, tax brackets or whatever. But if I'm a person who I only have a little bit of money, then possibly going to a luxury realtor may not be the person that can benefit you, the most. Huh?
And why would you go to if you're not financially
Well, because they see them
luxury?
on Instagram, they see them on TikTok, they see them on Facebook, they put these really nice pictures out there, whatever like that, and that's who they have access to. So maybe that's the reason
So
why
let me
they're
ask
going
you
to
this.
them.
If I got little money and I go to a luxury real estate agency, am I just wasting my time? I mean, because I'm not in that bracket.
Well, let me say, not necessarily, but ask questions. So it's seek information, because we can help you to purchase $1 million home and all that stuff, whatever. But we also can help you to purchase $180,000 house. But you may have some people who I help people purchase $1 million homes, and don't talk to me if you under 300 or whatever. But
Right.
so I would just say, just seek information and ask questions. That's the biggest thing or whatever. Don't count yourself out. All realtors are not the same. And that's not to say it in a negative way. All realtors are not the same. There's some clientele that we can't help you with. I would love to be able to help you with commercial property. We don't do commercial. So there are things that we do and things that we don't do. But we're going to be honest and upfront, because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste your money, to try to get into, to try to see. Let's see if we can do this. Like, if we don't do it, then we just don't do it. We don't specialize in that. So I guess I know what I'm saying is just seek information, ask questions, and be okay with talking to more than one realtor to see, what best fits you. But just understand that the home buying process is possible. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It may be next year, maybe a few months down the line or whatever. But just come and seek information.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you said kind of do your little homework, do your little research. I want to ask you, tell the people. Now this is time to have y'all shit. Tell these people, what is the benefit? Because I heard that you can choose. Yeah, you can. You can choose. It's your choice. But let these people know what the benefits of partnering with Hennigan Realty.
Well, we say it all the time. It's a 2-for-1
I
special.
knew he was gonna say that. Yeah.
That's what it is. You know what I mean? If you're working with me, you get the benefit of me brainstorming with my wife about your situation and how to serve you best. She may have seen some things that I didn't see. She may be thinking about something that I didn't. So you got two realtors that are strategizing on negotiations or whatever it is on your behalf. Pillow talk again. You know what I mean? It's always about real estate. We always talking about real estate. You know what I mean? So that would be the benefit. You know what I mean? You get a man perspective, you get a woman perspective, and we zeroing in to make sure that you get the long end of the stick at the end of the day.
And I would say we genuinely care about people. Like, we genuinely care about people, because even outside of real estate, we try our best to do community service, to give back, to figure out, which is even the reason why we're doing at the Shape Community Center. Like, we can't, help the people if we're in River Oaks, like we got to go to where the people are, meet you where you are. So you're also getting realtors that, even though our title, our career title is a realtor, but at the end of the day, like we are genuinely two people who care about people,
Yeah.
and want to make sure that we're doing the best for our clients, that we're putting your needs before ours. So we uphold our fiduciary responsibility. And we're honest and we're straightforward. So that's the other part that you get with us too, is that you're going to get two truly caring people that care about you beyond the real estate transaction.
Love that. I love it. Thank you guys so much for that. Please tell the listeners how they can connect with you. Give them your website, your phone numbers. Somebody on the live, they want to purchase their home and they've been looking and they just ran over this little nice live and they ready. How do they contact you?
So we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and on YouTube. So just look up Hennigan Realty Group in all those areas, and you'll find us on social media. You can also go straight to our website, www.henniganrealty.com. And of course, just to speak to us directly, you can give us a call at 832-305-5903. That's 832-305-5903. And you will be right in contact with Roland or myself.
Did you guys want to share anything else in this live while we have the opportunity? Because I want to make sure that you got out everything that you wanted to communicate.
Well, I just want to say, get out of your own. If you never bought a house and you are interested in buying a house but think you're not ready, I'm just reiterating what Dayna said. Get out of your own head with outdated information and get and speak to some real estate professionals. Give us a call and let us help you with what's going on now. Because you might be thinking, oh, I needed $20,000. My mama had needed $20,000. My neighbor bought a house, they had $20,000. That's not necessarily the case. I started off by telling y'all, like literally yesterday, I just closed on a client who got money back.
Okay.
She didn't come to the table with $20,000. She left the table with
So,
some money back.
yeah.
It had a comma in it. Put it like that.
Yeah.
It had a
Some
comma.
money. Look,
Her
some
check had a
money.
comma in it.
Right.
Some
Her check
money.
had a comma in it. You know what I mean? So you got to get out of your own head. You got to come to this workshop because it's free. We're gonna talk to you one on one, and we're gonna let you know about you, not how your parents bought a house or your neighbor. We're gonna help you with your path.
Yes,
And
y'all heard. Go ahead,
And
Dana.
our workshop is every third Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. at the Shape Community Center. So our next one is on January 18th, but it's from 12 to 2. Because it's not a class, you can come at any particular time between 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock,
Okay.
1:59, 12:30,
Okay.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock
Okay.
possibly. But come in
Good
here
evening.
12 to 2 every third Saturday at the Shape Community Center on Live Oak
And that's every third Saturday of each month.
of each month.
Once a month, the third Thursday, right?
The third Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday. Where I get Thursday from? Third Saturday of the month. So once a month, they have a workshop, home buyers workshop. It's on the third Saturday of every month. The next one is in 2 weeks, right? Because it's the
Yep.
first Saturday,
January 18th.
the 18th. So guys, be sure to go on over there and find out what you need to do if you're interested in purchasing your home. Even if you're not ready and you don't think you're ready, you may not know that you may be
Just
ready.
come get
So
information.
just go get the information. It does not hurt you. There's no harm, no foul in just getting information because you may walk away almost in the process of purchasing a home. You never know.
Exactly.
Thank you guys so much. I want to first and foremost say continue to do what you guys do in our community. You guys are amazing. We need you. I love the way you guys work. I love the partnership. I love the love. Black love and black excellence all rolled into one. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me today and sharing your information and allowing people to connect with you. That's a wrap for this episode of the City Highlights. Big thanks to Roland and Dayna Hennigan of the Hennigan Realty Group for joining us and sharing their real estate magic. If y'all are ready to make the real estate moves, don't miss their free FREE Home Buyers Workshop happening every third Saturday. Seriously, they're going to be there on the 18th, and you need to
Yep.
be there too. With that being said, thank you guys so much. Much love. Any closings before we go?
Yeah, and that's at the Shape Center. I think I'm pretty sure it's
3815.
3815. 3815
38
Live Oak.
live vote.
In third ward, 3815 Live Oak, in third ward from 12 to 2 p.m.
Awesome, guys. Thank you, guys. Again, this is your girl, Chris. It's been amazing. Y'all don't got to go home, but y'all got to get the hell off my live. Bye.
Bye.